So I don't think they're going to put on the test, but I'm not sure, other than to say, if they get into the need to know a specific nerve and what plexus it joins up with, I'll probably hold it off until it's more of a conceptual question. You know, C3 and C4, okay, are major components of what nerve and what plexus. Cervical plexus, phrenic nerve, okay? So it'd be hard if you look at this to really say, oh, that's definitely cervical plexus, so that's definitely... Brachial plexus is pretty well defined, lumbar and sacral plexus, pretty well defined. I'd probably stick within the realm of, I'd like you to know some nerves, okay? Now we didn't go through all of them crazily, okay? The phrenic nerve is not available, okay? But the nerves that are available very clearly, so the guy standing like this, we have the median nerve, and we have the ulnar nerve. Simple, okay? Median nerve travels in between, ulnar nerve travels along the ulna. Even the radial nerve, if I tagged it, I would expect, you guys should probably get it right, but, because you're all very smart. So, but the median and the ulnar nerve were the nerves that I asked you guys to have in mind. Then we had, coming out here, off of the lumbar plexus, the femoral nerve, okay? And then after, or off of the lumbar plexus and the sacral plexus, we had number 25, which is the sciatic nerve, okay? The sciatic nerve is made up of two large nerves, common fibular and tibial, okay? So as it descends down, it splits down here, okay? So I don't expect you to know these, but I do expect you to know what two major nerves make up the sciatic nerve, okay? So that guy is a good one to have a picture of. Then, what else we got? What else we got? Bring it on. Oh, eye. Eye and ear. So eye. Muscles of the eye goes with, okay, innervations. So cranial nerves. There's 3 cranial nerves dedicated to making the eye move. So the 6 extrinsic muscles of the eye. Which eye is this? Is the first question you have to ask yourself. It's the right eye. This is the lacrimal gland. It's superior and lateral. My eyes want to drain this way because I have a duct right here, the lacrimal duct. It wouldn't make much sense to just have the lacrimal gland right here and drain straight into the duct. That's stupid. So we wash the eye superior to inferior and lateral to medial, just like that. So my tears are produced here, washed down to here. It tells me that this is the right eye, okay? I'm very confirmed on that. I have 6 muscles, the extrinsic muscles of the eye. I have this, the formation of the muscles in general make them rectus muscles for 4 of them, right? So this is on the top. This is superior. This is now the outside, okay, or lateral, okay? This is now the medial one, okay? And this is the inferior one. All of those are rectus muscles. So superior rectus, medial rectus, lateral rectus, inferior rectus, okay? This guy here, on this one, okay, you don't have the muscle belly showing. Okay, we have the tendinous attachment of the superior oblique. It's on the top half of the eye, makes it superior. It attaches obliquely to the sclera of the eye, superior oblique, okay? Inferior oblique attaches on the inferior half of the eye, and it attaches obliquely to the sclera, okay? So, these muscles, what are their innervations? So, as you go through the cranial nerves, okay, we'll get back to these because we're going to do peripheral nervous system. So, cranial nerves, you can work your way through them, okay? So we have 2 that have 1 muscle each, okay? That's the trochlear nerve and the abducens nerve. So cranial nerve number 4 and cranial nerve number 6. Those do 1 muscle each. Remember those, and then you can just remember the other 4 muscles of the intrinsic or extrinsic muscles of the eye. Those are all done by the oculomotor nerve, cranial nerve number 3. So abducens, it's easy. It abducts the eye. That means that it's this eye, so I'm looking this way. That's abduction of the eye. Why is it abduction? Because I'm taking my eye away from midline. I'm not taking it towards midline, I'm taking it away. So I'm not adding it, I'm removing it from midline. That's abduction, okay? So just like the arm, I'm abducting my arm, I'm taking it away from the midline. So if I do that, I'm using the abducens nerve. This is the lateral rectus muscle. I take this guy here. So I use something called a trochlea, a pulley system, okay? I have, my finger represents the muscle belly, if I do this, okay? And I have something called a trochlea right here, okay? So connective tissue providing me with a pulley system. So this muscle belly will shorten, and it's going to pull on the tendinous attachment via the trochlea, all right? The trochlear nerve innervates the superior oblique. Okay? So if you remember the mechanism, you'll remember the nerve. The other four, those are all done by oculomotor. Okay? And it tells you what it does. It's the oculo, referring to this, motor, referring to muscle. Okay? So the oculomotor does superior, medial, and inferior rectus muscles, as well as the inferior oblique. Okay? Other structures of your eye, because neurologically, okay, this is cranial nerve number 2. It's the optic nerve coming out the back. Okay? It's pretty easy. The white stuff is the sclera, tough, fibrous, connective tissue on the outside. This clear area is called the cornea. Okay? It has fluid in behind it. So the next thing you can see is this brown thing. That's the iris. It has color, the color of your eye. The absence of that color is the pupil. That's the hole through which light is passing through. We didn't get into oculomotor's innervation of the smooth muscle of the eye. Okay, so don't worry about that. Take this off. So I have the cornea, the iris, and the pupil here. In behind the pupil, I have this thing, the lens. Okay, the lens is going to refract the light, and it's going to make it hit. Oh, hey, wow, there you go. It's going to make it hit the back of this. This is the neurological layer of the eye. So this is the inner layer. This is the retina. Okay, and they actually show you the photosensory tissue back here. Okay, so rods and cones. All right, so just some big stuff there to cover. I'll put it back together later. Or someone else would check. Okay, so we've done eye. Let's do ear before I do cranial nerves, because cranial nerves suck. Ear, okay, so these are photoreceptors. There's 2 special senses of the inner ear, okay? These are mechanoreceptors, okay? So it's a mechanical wave that I'm creating that you hear my voice travel towards you. I'm moving the air in between you and I, okay? It travels in your ear, massages your eardrum, lovely, right? This is your tympanic membrane, okay? So tympanic membrane, we call it the eardrum, okay? The next 3 bones are in sequence. I have a bone that attaches directly to the drum. It's called the malleus, or the mallet hitting the drum. The next bone is the incus, okay? It's in between, in between. Then I have one that's shaped like the stirrup from a saddle, so that is stapes. So malleus, incus, and stapes. This continues on, wave, or the mechanical stimulation, and the vibration is sent through something called the oval window, okay? The oval window is the attachment of the stapes at the cochlea. It sends waves through, traveling through this snail shell-like guy, okay? And it stimulates hair cells. Those waves in that fluid stimulates hair cells, and that's transmitted via the cochlear portion of the vestibulocochlear nerve into temporal lobe for auditory association. So we're transferring mechanical energy into nervous or electrical energy, which we make sense out of, okay? So that is hearing, or sense of hearing. So my mechanical receptors for my balance, also here. So this is the vestibular apparatus, or semicircular canals. They're all half circles. They're filled with fluid, and again, hair cells are detecting, they're attached to otoliths, they're called, and they shift around with the fluid, okay? So being this way, okay? And I'm